Iran strikes Israel as tensions explode. Netanyahu warns more is coming. Tonight, tensions in the Middle East are reaching a breaking point. Iran has launched a wave of missile attacks on Israel, following a surprise airstrike by Israeli forces. As the region braces for further escalation, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warns, more is on the way. Missiles lit up the night sky over Tel Aviv as Iran retaliated for Israel's pre-dawn airstrike on Iranian targets. Up to 100 missiles were launched in waves, with many intercepted mid-air by Israel's Arrow defense system. But several found their mark. In central Tel Aviv, a high-rise apartment building was struck, shattering windows and collapsing part of the structure. Emergency crews scrambled to rescue residents, while smoke from the impact cloaked the skyline. Israel's emergency services report at least 34 injured in Tel Aviv, most with minor wounds. One person was confirmed dead. Meanwhile, 2 more casualties were reported in central Israel Saturday morning. As explosions echoed across Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, blasts were also heard in Tehran. Iran's Mehrabad airport, near key government and military facilities, was reportedly hit by 2 projectiles. Flames and smoke were seen billowing into the night sky. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, vowed heavy retaliation. "We will bring our enemy to ruin," he declared. His newly appointed Revolutionary Guard chief promised to open the gates of hell. In the last 24 hours, we've eliminated senior commanders, top nuclear scientists, and major missile sites. And this is just the beginning. Crowds in Tehran took to the streets, waving flags and denouncing Israel. Iran's UN ambassador claimed 78 people were killed in Israel's initial strike, many of them civilians, and over 300 were injured. Israel's defense minister accused Iran of crossing a red line by targeting civilians, even as Iran says its people bore the brunt of Israel's first strike. World leaders are urging calm as fears grow of a full-scale war that's been building for over 2 decades, ever since Iran's secret nuclear program came to light. The situation is still developing, with reports of more explosions overnight. Both sides have made it clear. This is far from over. We'll continue to follow this story closely. Stay with us for the latest updates. Much of Israel's firepower on Friday focused on one of Iran's most critical and secretive locations, the underground uranium enrichment site at Natanz. According to the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, Israel completely destroyed the above-ground pilot plant. However, he confirmed radiation levels in the area remained stable. Grossi also told the UN Security Council that investigators are still gathering details about attacks on 2 other nuclear sites, Fordo and Isfahan, where more Iranian centrifuge operations and enrichment activities are located. The Israel Defense Forces made no secret of their intentions. One senior officer told reporters that Israel was taking advantage of a rare opportunity, with Iran's air defenses crippled, to dismantle the country's nuclear capabilities. Their mission, he said, is to remove the threat and make sure Iran never develops a nuclear weapon. But questions remain. How much of Iran's missile arsenal survived? And will Tehran respond by targeting U.S. forces as well as Israel? Adding to the uncertainty, former U.S. President Donald Trump, despite initially urging Israel to wait for diplomacy, praised the assault as excellent. He confirmed the U.S. had been informed and hinted that the strikes aligned with a 60-day ultimatum he gave Iran earlier this year. While the White House has not confirmed direct involvement, U.S. officials quoted by ABC described the intelligence shared with Israel as exquisite. Iran's UN envoy, Amir Saeed Iravani, accused the U.S. of full complicity. Speaking at the Security Council, he warned, By aiding and enabling these crimes, the U.S. shares full responsibility for the consequences. Iranian media has confirmed devastating losses. Among the dead are 3 of the country's top military commanders, including the head of the Revolutionary Guards, General Hossein Salami, and 6 nuclear scientists, some of whom were previously sanctioned by Western powers for their roles in the country's enrichment program. Israel's attack, codenamed Operation Rising Lion, was one of its largest air offensives in decades. The IDF said over 200 warplanes were deployed, hitting 100 high-value targets. Sources say the assault included Mossad commandos, who infiltrated Iran ahead of the strikes. Their mission: disable air defenses and mark ballistic missile sites for precision drone strikes.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program, at their nuclear weaponization program, at their ballistic missile program. This is just the beginning. As both nations mourn the losses and prepare for potential retaliation, neighboring countries and global powers are urging urgent de-escalation. But with warplanes still in the air and diplomatic bridges collapsing, the region teeters on the edge of a wider conflict. A major power struggle is unfolding, with global consequences. We'll continue tracking Operation Rising Lion and the rising tensions across the Middle East. For updates, analysis, and more in-depth coverage, stay with us. Later in the day, Israel's Mossad intelligence agency released footage it claimed was recorded deep inside Iran. The blurry, time-stamped clips appear to show agents moving through Iranian streets, planting devices, and targeting defense systems. In one clip, an Iranian air defense system is hit, erupting in fire. Another shows what Mossad says is the destruction of a long-range missile platform, a key component of Iran's strike capability. On the ground, Iranian civilians endured a night of terror. In Saadat Abad, a neighborhood in northern Tehran, residents described violent tremors and confusion in the early hours. I woke up to a huge explosion just after 3 a.m., then 4 more, one after the other. Our windows were shaking. People were screaming. We didn't know if it was war or an earthquake. By morning, debris littered the streets. Shattered storefronts, scorched walls, and abandoned vehicles bore witness to the scale of the attack. How much longer can we live in fear? As an Iranian, I believe there must be a response, a powerful one, a scathing one. The full toll on civilians remains unclear. Iranian authorities have yet to release complete casualty figures, but eyewitness accounts describe dozens of injured and rising public outrage. Iran's Red Crescent Society has deployed teams to several sites across Tehran and other affected cities, while hospitals are preparing for the possibility of further attacks. Nationwide protests erupted in Iran by daybreak, with crowds calling for retribution. Government leaders are now under intense pressure to respond with force, not just words. With every hour, the possibility of all-out war draws closer. As the world watches, the question remains, will diplomacy find a way back to the table, or is the region heading toward a catastrophic escalation? We'll bring you continuing coverage on the strikes, the intelligence leaks, and the voices from both sides of the conflict. Stay with us.